Next on F4 US Championship today, the series out east at VIR. Tough and twisty, quite a challenge. Can the F4 points leader take a giant step to a title? An inside look at a new team, Kiwi Motorsport. And the next step in driver development, F3, coming next year. It's all next on F4 US Championship today.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of F4 US Championship today. I'm Rick Benjamin. We're at historic Watkins Glen International in upstate New York this weekend. This is the place that was home to Formula One in the United States for such a long time. Now it's home to the Verizon IndyCar Series. Those two series, of course, the prime destinations for our F4 young guns as they work their way up the motorsports ladder. Before we get going with our coverage of Race Weekend 5 from VIR, a little bit about these race cars. They are single-seat, carbon fiber, purpose-built race cars, powered by a 160-horsepower four-cylinder Honda engine. It's sealed, of course, to level the playing field. They run on Pirelli race tires, slicks, of course, the order of the day, and the drivers are mostly young guns, teenagers for the most part, who are trying to make their way in this sport. The championship well in hand by a driver named Kyle Kirkwood out of Florida, but he's got some challengers that are emerging this weekend at VIR. Here's Kyle Benjamin with more.
You know your race season's going really well when you're a little bummed with just one victory during an F4 weekend. Kyle Kirkwood's 6-race winning streak came to an end at Mid-Ohio, but she didn't end up leaving with the last race win of the weekend. Your championship mojo pretty strong at this point. Are you cruising and just trying to earn points, or are you still going out to win as many as you can?
Well, we're still trying to win races, but of course we want to keep the points as neutral as possible and try and maintain our 75-point lead. So right now, just trying to keep the racing clean and hopefully keep ahead in the points.
If everything does go Kyle's way here at Virginia International this weekend, he could actually have the championship wrapped up. One of the guys who's trying to keep that from happening, Brendan Leach. Brendan scored the most points out of every driver at Mid-Ohio. First, third, second. You're really coming on strong here towards the end of the season.
Yeah, the Kiwi guys have put a fantastic package together with the car, and I'm sort of understanding how the car likes to be driven as well. So, at the moment we're just really trying to maximize the points and hopefully get a few more race wins before we wrap up the season.
Should be interesting to see here at VIR. Kiwi Motorsports teammate Dakota Dickerson making a return to the F4 field. He's going to lead the field to green here at Virginia International Raceway.
The field ready to roll, round 13 of the 2017 F4 US season. Picture-perfect race conditions prevailing at Virginia International Raceway. Points leader Kyle Kirkwood wasted no time taking his Cape Motorsports Honda to the lead on the opening lap. Pole sitter Dakota Dickerson losing second here to Skylar Robinson on lap 1. He's feeling pressure meantime from his teammate Brandon Leach. On lap 2, trouble for race and points leader Kirkwood sliding off track at turn 17. That error handing the lead to Skylar Robinson.
I went into turn 17. There's a little bit of a crest of the hill. I was driving as if the tires were warm. It was first lap, so the tires were cold. Went over that hill, tried to get back to power. Car went sideways. I caught the car, but then only thing in front of me was grass, so I had to go off there and go way off and then bring it back onto the track.
Kirkwood's car was okay after the incident. He was able to continue. He'd salvage an 8th after climbing from 27th. Meantime, Leach in his Kiwi Motorsport Honda, the 86 car, closed in on Robinson and took over the lead on lap 4. But he too had a little trouble on the exit of 17. That opened the door for John Paul Southern Jr. in the 61 car from J. Howard Motorsports driver development. He took over the race lead and led 3 laps until spinning in 11, handing the lead over once more to Skylar Robinson.
A couple corners before the corner I spun out, it just got really loose, and I wasn't expecting it to be that loose going into the one corner, and I was pushing really hard and just spun out by myself.
Meanwhile, Robinson opened up a gap on Baltazar Leguizamon, Brandon Leach, Jordan Sherritt, and pole sitter Dakota Dickerson. Tricky turn 17, though, would get the best of Robinson. He bobbles and slides just off track, allowing Leguizamon to take the lead on lap 13. Robinson would have to settle for 6th in this one.
Made a small mistake, and obviously those are pretty tough pill to swallow when you've got the lead and it's kind of yours to lose, so a little frustrated about that.
South African Jordan Sherritt and his crosslink powder coating Honda, meantime, turned in another solid run, passing Kiwi Leach for 2nd. He'd been charging up from his 11th starting spot. And there was more action on the final lap. Dakota Dickerson passing his Kiwi Motorsport teammate Leach to take home 3rd after having fallen as far back as 6th. But at the checkers, it was the Argentinian, Baltazar Leguizamon, piloting his Motorola Honda from Miller Vinatieri Motorsports. earning his first victory in the F4 United States Championship.
We had a car to go up at the front, so I stay mentally prepare every lap and keep very consistent. And we had a big margin. The last laps I took it easy because we were first very good. So yeah, it was very, very hard start of the race, but then was perfect how we finished it.
You know, it's just hard work, driving the car more, learning, you know, first year in cars, and yeah, we're getting there slowly but surely, and you know, hopefully we can get more of this. You know, this is an amazing result for us as a new team, as a new driver, and yeah, pretty happy with it.
Got another podium for the team for Kiwi Motorsport, so it's really great to be back after missing Mid-Ohio, so just really looking forward to the race tonight.
Plenty more to come on this edition of F4 US Championship today from Watkins Glen. When we continue, what will become of the drivers who graduate from F4? Where do they go to next? Well, that question now answered. Formula 3, powered by Honda, is coming to the U.S. starting next year. And highlights of round number 2 from the VIR weekend. That's all coming up.
F4 US Championship today is being brought to you by Honda. The F4 United States Championship is powered by Honda and presented by Honda Performance Development. And by SCCA Pro Racing. The F4 United States Championship is accessible, developmental, safe, and fun. For more information, visit F4USChampionship.com. Find out how you can get behind the wheel.
Hi, I'm Tyler O'Connor from New Hartford, Connecticut.
My name is Elliot Finlayson, and I'm from Yorkville, Illinois.
The reason I joined F4 was to test my skills against some of the best up-and-coming racers worldwide. We have a great platform here with F4 and SCCA Pro Racing, and there's really no better place to start.
I'm racing F4 this weekend with Jay Howard's Motorsport Driver Development because the cost is really good, and there's a lot of competition in this series. Obviously, we have 33 cars this weekend, so it's a lot of fun.
Back at Virginia International Raceway for the F4 US Championship powered by Honda. Race 2 on the weekend. Points leader Kyle Kirkwood's machine having some gearbox issues moments before the start. So Kirkwood's Cape Motorsports crew and Honda engineers working hard. They're able to resolve the issue to allow the points leader to strap in. Kyle suiting up for round 14 of this year's championship. The field rolling off under cool, dusky conditions at the picturesque Virginia circuit. As always in F4, drivers qualifying for the second race of the weekend according to their lap times from race number 1. That put Kirkwood on pole once more. Off the start, the field racing into turn 2. Skylar Robinson in his Momentum Motorsports 2 car trying to stay glued to Kirkwood's gearbox, taking second from outside pole sitter John Paul Southern Jr. and Jay Howard's 61 car. The man on the move early was Dakota Dickerson in the Kiwi Motorsports Honda, passing Robinson here for third, and then setting his sights on Southern for second. All of this on lap number 1. Championship contender Raphael Forcier, meantime, in his Indy Motorsports Group Honda, had gotten to third early. On lap 6, the Canadian Forcier on the button, pulling the trigger, drafting by Dickerson on the backstretch to take over second. South African Jordan Sherrod in his Crosslink powder coating Honda wanting in on the fun too. He passes Dickerson here to get third. Dickerson not able to defend. He would end up fourth in this one. Next lap, Sherrod used the same drafting move on Forcier to pick off second spot before a full course caution out on lap 10 after Jacob Loomis sent his car off the racetrack.
Unfortunately, had a gearbox issue on the downshifts. It wouldn't properly downshift, and unfortunately, it ended up blocking our front tires and forcing me off the track. And in return, I got grass in the radiator screens, and the car started to overheat, so I had to shut it off.
These F4 US Championship rounds are 30-minute sprint races. With about 4 minutes remaining on the clock in the second event of the weekend, the field restarted behind points leader Kirkwood and runner-up Sherrod. On lap 13, Jordan used his drafting technique on race leader Kirkwood to take over the top spot. A lap later, trouble for a couple of the F4 youngsters. Vincent Christoph in the 3 car, Ken Vaccaro in the 16 getting together while battling with Christopher Gumprecht in the 97. Vaccaro off course. It causes a full course caution. The 16 machine developing mechanical issues from the contact, not able to move. So this one would end under caution, with the South African driver getting his first F4 US Championship win of the season.
I can't believe it. I mean, lucky I just capitalized on Kirkwood's mistake there at the end, and you know, all credit to the team, thanks to everyone who supports, and yeah, it's absolutely incredible. I'm so excited actually, but I don't actually show it, but I'm excited.
Bit unfortunate and my mistake, just like it was in the first race, but we'll fight back and go back towards the front for the next race tomorrow morning.
I made my way up to second, and from there I thought I could catch up to Kyle, but I had no draft, and the guys in the back had a draft. They could catch up to me, and then Jordan made the pass. He made the pass on Kyle, and I took home third.
All right, so race number 2 in the books at Virginia International Raceway. When we return in a couple of moments, we'll look at a new team in the F4 US Championship powered by Honda making some waves. We'll meet Team Kiwi and the full story on the arrival of F3 powered by Honda coming next season. Stay with us. Welcome back to this edition of F4 US Championship Today. We're at Watkins Glen International, a place where F4 drivers want to arrive in IndyCar. This place used to host Formula One not that many years ago. The question has been on the minds of a lot of our F4 participants, what's next after they graduate from F4? Well, the answer is now apparent. There will be an F3 series in the United States, also powered by Honda, by a more powerful motor. We've got the details for you right here.
We've had so much success with the F4 series this year, and our teams really wanted somewhere else to bring their drivers up through. So we're going to be bringing on F3 next year, and we are really excited about it. The important thing about our F3 program, it is going to be cost controlled, just like our F4 program is. So it should be a very affordable series to run. It'll be a very nice car to drive.
We can't be more excited about it. I mean, all of our partners have been working on it a long time. It's always been a goal of ours to get the next level. You know, every time someone has an interest in the series, they ask me 4 questions. You know, how does the engine lease work? How much does the car cost? Where are we going to race? And where do I go next? I haven't been able to answer that 4th question until now, and I think everybody's been waiting for it. And we really wanted to make sure that we studied it well and had an opportunity, and it's just an overwhelming response. So I think it's going to be fantastic. Certainly going to be more horsepower. We don't know exactly, approximately maybe 100 more. So you're going to have there'll be more aero. So they're going to have to use the throttle, you know, a lot. There's a lot on the F4 side as far as momentum, but this is going to have power. They're really going to have to manage the power and aero a lot better.
We're working on the schedule right now. It is not finalized, so obviously it presents a challenge to us because now we need more time, and so we're adjusting events, and hopefully we'll have something here very shortly.
The F4 US Championship powered by Honda has grown so quickly that teams have been scrambling to get on board, assemble their groups, get race cars, and sign young drivers. Several new teams have made a splash here in 2017. One of the best is Team Kiwi. Here's Kyle Benjamin with more.
There's plenty of international flavor in the F4 US Championship paddock. You got drivers from America, Canada, a family from Denmark, Argentina, South Africa even. But there's a team from New Zealand who's making their mark on the F4 US Championship. That's Kiwi Motorsport. They spooled up about 2 weeks before the season started and are really, really fast.
Gary and I are partners in life and in racing, so we wanted to do a team. We wanted to create our own team together, and we had a driver, Brendan, and a sponsor who was just right on it and just wanted to get Brendan in the car because he was only doing a certain amount of races. So Gary and I thought, hey, let's form this team and get it going. So we put it together in like 2 weeks from across the seas to get it all up and running, and 2 days to pick up the car and then on track, and it was just a great adventure.
I mean, for us, we've come here at such a short notice. We have challenges with getting everything moved around. We tend to take too much stuff with us. We've only got a small trailer. That's going to change. But look, we just do the best we can, and we've been very lucky having some support from a lot of people over here, and without that support it just wouldn't have happened. I mean, the Crow family in Texas brought us into their house to give us somewhere to stay, given us a workshop to work on the car. The Crawford family, I mean, it's just been fantastic.
Without that team at Crawford with Max Crawford and on Roque and just getting the cars up and running, we just wouldn't have been able to. We say, hey Max, we need a car. He's like, all right, when? Well, now. And up and running, and it's just been we couldn't do it without his support. In fact, he was our number one go-to guy to get answers. I don't know if it's that Kiwi connection, but I tell you, it helped from across the season. It was a great start to our season, and to have the pace, to keep the pace. Well, we've got great engineers, great mechanics, and of course a great driver. So the whole package together really makes it good for us and to get pace. And now as the season progresses, the pace is just continuing. So we're just we're there. We're on it.
So Team Kiwi doing a great job in this part of the season in the F4 US Championship powered by Honda. We'll see what success they can score over the remaining weekends in this 2017 season. When we continue here at Watkins Glen, we'll show you highlights from race number 3 at Virginia International Raceway. The season approaching the home stretch in F4. Who's going to be our champion? Details coming up.
F4 US Championship today has been brought to you by Honda. The F4 US Championship is powered by Honda and presented by Honda Performance Development. By SCCA Pro Racing, bridging the gap from karts to cars has never been easier. Make the affordable transition to Formula 4. Find out more at f4uschampionships.com. And by Speedcom Communications, for more than 20 years the world leader in motorsports radio and communication systems. Find out more at speedcomracing.com.
Welcome back to F4 US Championship today. I'm Kyle Benjamin. Round 15 of the 2017 championship season is about to kick off here at Virginia International Raceway. The front of the field is full of race winners this season. However, there are a couple of new names up towards the top. Tyler O'Connor, first race weekend here. He's on the pole. It's entirely possible we see another first-time winner here in round 15.
Joining newcomer Tyler O'Connor on the front row for the VIR finale, Skylar Robinson in the Momentum Motorsports 2 car. When the lights went green for race 3, O'Connor left 2 perfect black streaks as the field sped off into turn 1. Robinson took advantage of O'Connor's wheel spin to put his Honda into the lead. Hot on his tail, South African Jordan Sherritt. As the field headed into turn 11 on the opening lap, championship leader Kyle Kirkwood in the Cape Motorsports 8 car had his Honda up into 3rd. Once again, Sherritt used the draft to get by Robinson and put his crosslink powder coating Honda into the top spot. But wait, there's more. Still on lap 1. Kiwi Motorsports' Brandon Leach and Group A Racing's Jonathan Scarallo get together in turn 14.
Coming down the end of the straight there, I made contact with a car who turned in a little bit too early when I was well up the inside of him, so I had to try to get out of it. He went sideways and came back across and collected me and sent me backwards off into the wall.
I haven't seen a replay or anything, but, Leach tried to stick it in pretty late, and then I'm pretty sure he washed out on the exit and hit me, and when he hit me, he spun me back into him. So, I would like to see a replay to verify, but I'm pretty positive that's what happens.
Meantime, the young Texan, Austin Kazuba, in his own 27 car, had a front row seat to the incident between Leach and Scarallo. And on lap 2, Austin found himself in trouble.
So essentially, coming into turn 1, I got to run on a guy and got overzealous and got a little too deep in on the braking zone and went around, and somebody coming in through the field hit us from the rear, and that was that.
That brings about a restart, and when the green reappeared, Skylar Robinson got a good jump moving outside to battle with Jordan Sherritt for the lead. But points leader Kirkwood showed some patience here, watching Robinson and Sherritt go wide in turn 1. Kirkwood cashing in, moving his 8 car from 3rd to 1st. On lap 7, Sherritt bobbles entering turn 4. That allowed Robinson to scoot back into 2nd. Kirkwood, meantime, loving life, starting to stretch his lead on the pair. Late race yellow would wave. No brakes on the 16 car of Kent Vaccaro. Going down into turn 1, not the place you want to lose your brakes. A hard hit to be sure. Young Kent taken to a local hospital for evaluation. Good news, though, he's okay. No one had anything in race 3 at VIR for Kyle Kirkwood. The Cape Motorsports squad cheering their young ace as he picks up another victory, expanding his points lead. So as the VIR weekend draws to a close, Kyle Kirkwood adding to his advantage. 91 points now over runner-up Rafael Forcier. Timo Rieger, who had started the season so strongly, still 3rd, but just 2 points ahead of Jordan Sherritt. Brendan Leach and Jacob Loomis are tied for 5th.
Well, it's no surprise at all that we're here talking to Kyle Kirkwood again after his 8th F4 US Championship win this season. And you're kind of the model of consistency at Mid-Ohio, an 8th, a 2nd, and a 1st. And then here at VIR, you did the same thing again. You battled hard to grab this victory, though.
Yeah, I definitely did. Unfortunately, a lot of that race was under caution, but you're right, very consistent throughout the year, and that's what's going to allow us to win the championship.
All right, so Kyle Kirkwood still has to perform well at COTA to secure that championship. He's trying to stretch that lead on Rafael Forcier, another guy who's been super consistent as well this season. Jordan Sherritt, all the way from South Africa, team based in Texas. Jordan, this has been a great weekend for you. A first, a second, and a third here at VIR.
Yeah, you know, we got a whole big bag of points, which is helping us in the championship. I think we're fourth now, and about 43 points behind Forcier. So hopefully in the 2 rounds of COTA we can get that back and maybe finish second in the championship, because it might be a bit of a push to get to Kirkwood because he's so far ahead. But yeah, pretty good weekend. I'm pretty happy with the performance of our team, and thanks to the guys, thanks to everybody.
Now this weekend, actually a little special for you because your team's based in Texas, and with the damage and devastation from Hurricane Harvey, you're donating a portion of your proceeds to help those recovery efforts.
Yeah, you know, there's so much damage there, and you know, every little bit helps. So I'm glad to give them a portion of my money to help them fix and repair Houston.
Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of F4 U.S. Championship today, powered by Honda. Next time we speak to you, we'll be covering the action at Circuit of the Americas. The F4 cars and the young drivers will be in action first with the World Endurance Championship. That's in the month of September. And then the season will wrap up with an awesome opportunity. These F4 drivers and teams will race on Formula One weekend at COTA. That's in the month of October. Our coverage coming up right here on F4 U.S. Championship today, powered by Honda. For now, I'm Rick Benjamin. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.